Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about King Edward VIII and the many fantasy coins that they've minted over the last couple of years. As you know, King Edward VIII was only on the throne for less than a year, and there wasn't any known mintage figures for him that were official. So this collection that I have assembled over a couple of years now cover medallions as well as fantasy coins and also some selected pattern pieces. Today in particular we're going to be talking about the evolution of the fantasy pieces. In question on the right hand side here we have a couple more coins themselves that have been slabbed, and their descriptions are quite well stated by PCGS and NGC. Although NGC and PCGS do often make a mistake on the labeling of them, and that you have to resend it back and give them the right reference. In terms of reference material, the best reference material covering fantasy pieces, if you'd like to call it that, is a book by Giordani called The Portraits of a Prince. This book is probably the best at the moment that covers King Edward VIII medals, memorabilia, sovereigns, collectibles, fantasy pieces, and it also has all the pattern coins that were issued, and there's a brief black and white description, picture and description that covers off in this book. So the evolution of the fantasy pieces, really the best one that really started it all was Geoffrey Hearn, and you can see his pronounced effigy stands well out of the coin. It's much pronounced as per se, and all these pieces were done in silver, and there are some in gold, and on the other side you can see clearly King George on horseback and slaying the dragon. The second one that stands out most is the Pobjoy mint, made several of the colonies as well. The distinguishing factor about the Pobjoy mint, although the effigy does stand out a little bit, it actually has a pointed bust at the bottom. The collar is very pointed. The beautiful coins, well struck and very clear surfaces. The third one we're going to talk about is Coincraft by a person called Richard Lobel. And Richard Lobel is a known London coin dealer, and he made quite an extensive range of this, covering the colonies and extending to a little bit more colonial influences of the British. And he made these in copper, nickel, bronze, gilded, sovereigns, silver, and some aluminium. So using the Portrait of a Prince reference book, you can see NGC have labeled this FM2B silver. Here you can see FM2B silver, the dimensions, and the thickness, and there's a brief description underneath here on the coin. So with regards to the 1972 Pobjoy, you can see the information over here. The reference number is FM16A silver. If you go to Portraits of a Prince, you'll see it's made by Pobjoy, and it's FM16A over here, and it's silver. So this is the Coincraft issue by Richard Lobel, and here is 57B as it is 57B here, and it says it's copper nickel, and this is just an indicative benchmark for a price range. The book's rather old, and obviously with grading fees and that, it would be substantially more. So those were 3 coins of my collection. As you can see, it's extensive. We have a lot more of these to discuss. They're very interesting. Some of them are very rare. We've got a big mixture in front of you. We've got medallions, we've got actually the fantasy coins, we've got coins that were commemorative as well. There's silver, there's gold, there's copper, and there's also then your piefords, which are very thick in that. So there's a lot to discuss here. There was other people that made this. There was the ICB, the INA, Golders stands out somewhat. So there's a lot more to dwell into the history of this, and they're very, very collectible. Price-wise, they can range anything from a couple of dollars to a few $1,000s. So please stay tuned. Any comments, send me something, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thumbs up.